Man, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of EOS. It's 1090 Jake, man. I'm rocking with y'all rocking with me. And for this video, we're gonna be talking about the man that stalked, catfished, and killed his gay crush because he didn't want to be exposed as gay, and then I made him viral anyway. And he got sentenced to life, but he has a chance at freedom after a judge apparently effed up the case. Now, you don't have to crash to get cash. You can download the free Cash app, and if you use my link, you'll get a $5 bonus. You can find it pinned in the comment section or in the description of this video. And if you don't believe me, you can check the 45,000 reviews on the Apple Store. Don't crash, get cash with the free Cash app. Now, I made this video 3 years ago, and we're gonna give a good mention to Miko Worldwide's video because, you know, not only did it get 1.1 million views, but he still reports that video to this day. But the teen stalks and kills gay crush after being exposed, 900,000 views. We're gonna watch this just for a quick recap so you can hear everything, including the insane amount of evidence, which just makes it even worse that he might actually get released. June 23rd, 2022.
If you were sexually abused while at school or school activity as a child, you may be entitled a
Daytona Beach police responded to a weapons complaint at 1:54 a.m. after multiple gunshots disturbed what was a peaceful night. Arriving on scene, an officer observed a black male laying on the sidewalk, bleeding from several gunshots. A total of 6 spent shell casings could be seen around his body, giving the officer the impression that the shooter was either with the victim or waited for the victim before shooting him. No vehicles and no body was seen fleeing the area as officers had arrived. An immediate search for a firearm was conducted, but no weapon was found. And at 2:06 a.m., Daytona Fire and Rescue pronounced the male deceased. An officer conducted a rapid ID on the body, which is a fast and accurate fingerprint scan that confirms whether or not the person has a criminal history by running the print through a database. A match was found, and the body was positively identified as 19-year-old Teelan man, who was arrested back in February after. Now, real quick, clearly this is a man. You can tell by the chin here, right? And I'll say this because I remember saying it when I did the original video. We're not gonna disrespect the dead, for one, because that's never respected. But keep in mind, this kid was himself, and he was killed by somebody who was scared to be themselves.
Right.
Just keep that in mind as this video progresses.
Right.
In a traffic stop.
And that's the whole thing. Like, I don't. You be on the internet, like, a lot of like flamboyant or like gay dudes or whatever you want to call it. A lot of them like thrive off of, oh yeah, I was with trade. Yeah, trade is something I learned too from the gay lingo. They say trade is just like a guy that's gay but look like he's straight. Like, I think it's different from DL. DL is when you pretending to be straight altogether. So, like, I don't know. A lot of gay boys, like, they thrive on that, like, being with DLs and exposing men and stuff. But it could be very dangerous because, like he said, this young man, rest in peace to him. I don't want to disrespect nobody's pronouns, but this person, rest in peace to this person. Life deserves to be taken because you're not confident with yourself. You know what I'm saying? If you don't want to be in those type of activities, or you're scared to get caught, or you're not ready to live in your truth, leave people alone.
His body laid at an intersection which was the beginning of an apartment complex, and officers would soon learn his sister resided inside. A detective made contact with the sister, who said he left the home. Ring camera footage confirmed he left on foot at 1:51 a.m., meaning he was killed just 3 minutes later. His sister further told detectives TayySzn, who went by the name Cash, was gay and promiscuous. His cell phone was located 10 feet from his body, and his sister gave consent to search the phone, even providing the password. With his Instagram still logged in, detectives were able to view his most recent conversation with an account named Fuck You 2 times. The conversation would start earlier in the day as the account made multiple advances to see Cash. Later in the night, the two would try and find a place to meet, as neither of them had access to a vehicle at the time, and the two would exchange nude pictures and videos.
That's crazy.
As the conversation became sexual. Cash asked for a face pic, to which the account tries to play it off saying, "Ben showed you, girl." Cash would respond by saying, "No you didn't," and the account would send a face pic. It's unclear whether or not Cash recognized the pic or thought it was fake, as his reply was, "Don't be playing nah." When Cash said he was going to video chat the account claimed to be busy. Cash said he didn't remember seeing him at the beach day, but the account was able to recall exactly what Cash was wearing that day. When Cash asked if he had an iPhone, the account said nah, Droid. While obviously avoiding FaceTime, Cash was still willing to meet. For the next hour and 40 minutes, the two would communicate back and forth as the account went to meet Cash, with Cash questioning where he was, as he asked him to send pics of his location. Cash would video chat him twice, but he wouldn't answer, and at 1:33 a.m., Cash gave him his sister's address. At 1:49, the account said outside, and at 1:51,
see, that's why you can't be meeting folks on the internet and doing all that. Like, it's never that serious. I know a lot of people meet over the internet these days, but you gotta be extra precautious. And then meeting at 1 o'clock in the morning in the dark by yourself, walking, you walking, he walking, don't know who this person really is. If you meet somebody on the internet, meet somebody in a public place. Do not give them your address. Make sure nobody following you. It's just like, it's just not safe. You can't trust nobody these days. Nobody.
the last message Cash would ever send said, "That's you hiding?"
That's you hiding. Cash came out, saw someone hiding, and the message was undelivered because at that point, he was already blocked. Once the killer knew he was coming outside, he blocked him on the number, sat ready, and then opened fire.
Parents of children who play Roblox. If your child was sexually exploited, abused, or...
But the message was undelivered, as the account Cash had been messaging was already disabled. Detectives were able to retrace the steps of the unidentified account as having passed Campbell Middle School. Accessing surveillance video, the suspect can be seen riding a bicycle past the school at 1:07 a.m. and taking a flash photo consistent with the Instagram messages, where Cash was asking for a photo of the suspect's location while providing directions. The suspect can be seen riding off on a beach cruiser-styled bike with a basket, while wearing a light-colored sweater and black pants with reflective
A bike with a basket is crazy.
material at the bottom of the...
Nah, I just want to throw this in there. This kid didn't want to get exposed as being gay, so he went and committed a murder, but he rides around on a beach cruiser with a basket. Keep that in mind.
Pants leg. At 1:40, detectives observed the suspect on street camera without the bicycle. Surveillance footage from a nearby apartment complex would capture the suspect 5 minutes later, stopping to take another picture while concealing his face. The picture was sent at the exact time he can be seen on camera at the apartments. Detectives were then able to retrieve footage of the actual shooting from the apartments Cash's sister lived in. It showed the suspect walking up before kneeling behind a grass hill where he concealed himself. Cash saw him hiding as he texted it to him, and as Cash remained on the sidewalk, the suspect came out, walking right up on Cash before gunning him down. Over the next week, the same way detectives were able to trace the suspect to the scene, they were able to follow his escape.
Making his way through various areas, he could be seen shirtless holding his sweater and hiding behind bushes to avoid being sighted by traffic. At one point he hides behind an RV, and at another point he can be seen walking his bicycle by an apartment. The video trail would lead detectives to a small home located 48 minutes away from the murder scene. The Bethune-Cookman College just so happened to neighbor the small home, and the college's surveillance cameras just so happened to capture the suspect leaving the home just before 1 a.m. He can be seen entering the home at 2:50, roughly an hour after the murder, which was the approximate amount of time it would take to get back on foot. A search warrant was signed and executed at 211 Garden Street, and verbal commands were given to 19-year-old Jakari Webb, who ran from officers before being taken down by a canine unit. A search of the residence produced a 9mm handgun.
He looked a little big to be running from officers, I'm just saying.
And next to it was a light-colored sweater. A short clip of the surveillance video was shown.
Well, that goes to show why he didn't get away.
To a resident within the home who positively identified Jakari as the one seen on video.
So he gets ID'd by most likely his mother, who lived inside of whose house he lived in, right?
Jakari was then arrested and charged with resisting arrest and violating probation. While at the Daytona Beach Police Department, Jakari told detectives he'd been home the day leading up to the murder. When asked if he rides a bicycle, he stated he sometimes rode a gray beach cruiser. Detectives showed Jakari ring camera footage to which Jakari identified himself. He claimed to be on his way to his mom's house.
So at this point, he's identified by somebody within the house that he came from, as that was him on video, identifies himself as being on video, and then admits that he rides the same beach cruiser that was used
And the murder?
to basically transport himself to commit murder.
But when confronted by detectives, he changed his story. Detectives cut the bullshit, letting Jakari know they had video of him in the area of the murder and walking all the way back to his house. Jakari pretended he didn't know what they were talking about before eventually admitting to shooting Cash, claiming he did it in self-defense after Cash attacked him with a knife. He said he took the knife from Cash after he shot him before detectives told him they have the shooting on video. That's when Jakari admitted there was never a knife. He told detectives he created a fake Instagram account and had been using it to talk to Cash for the last 5 months. He claimed Cash had told people a few years back that he was gay, and people started believing it. So he made the fake Instagram to get back at Cash. He claimed shooting him was an accident, but confirmed the weapon police recovered was the same one that he used to kill him. Due to an overwhelming amount of evidence and Jakari Webb's own confession, he was charged with first-degree premeditated murder. He admitted to stalking Cash for an alleged rumor that essentially exposed him as being gay, and running from his truth, he decided to murder Cash as revenge. But even in the hours leading up to the murder, he still asked Cash for nude pictures, exchanging sexual advances, as he obviously was attracted to Cash. It was his own shame and embarrassment at the thought of being exposed that caused him to take the life of someone who wasn't afraid to be themselves. Jakari remains in the Volusia County Jail and is alleged to be on suicide watch, while the state may pursue the case as a hate crime and a punishment of death.
But Jakari was found guilty as fuck after all that goddamn evidence. So homie, you admitted you shot him, said there was a knife, they show you the video, then you're like, all right, nah, there ain't no knife, right? So you admitted you killed him, you admitted to everything, you admitted it was you admitted to the bike, you admitted the gun that they found was the gun that was used, and then you know, easily, it would seem, get found guilty.
Stop calling me. You sound like a psycho, I swear to God.
I'm calling you to let you know that we're gonna pay off every loan you have. Like, it's literally a good thing.
I understand, but I'm not interested.
Now this is his original mugshot, and I want y'all to just notice he doesn't have a tattoo on either side of his face. But going over to the good old Florida Department of Corrections, we can see Jakari Webb, born in 2002, was sentenced to life in prison. He's currently at South Bay. He's closed custody, which is the highest custody level you can have while being in population. He's not in confinement at this time. And he was, you know, the murder took place in 2022. He was sentenced 2 years later. And he has a broken heart tattoo by his eye. I wonder if that is for cash. I wonder if that is for his crush that he essentially killed. But as this states, convicted murderer may get a chance to walk free.
Killer in Daytona Beach has a new chance to walk free. A judge says there was a problem in the original trial and they may need to do a do-over. Well, the murder happened 4 years ago and the victim's family is furious. They're going to have to relive the pain all over again.
Fox 35's Marie Ettinger is investigating what went wrong with that trial.
The family says living through this trial the first time was hard enough, having to see the video, the text exchanges, the autopsy reports. Having to do that all again, they can't bear that thought.
Teal and Mann's big sister says he was always helpful, always kind, always made friends easily.
Just a ball of joy since he was a baby. Like, he used to have these gummy little cheeks. You know, he had this.
I mean, they look just like. That's what I was trying to say. I know I couldn't get it out. I'll say they are twins.
It's the most contagious laugh. Oh my God.
In 2024, Takia Mann and her family watched this man, Jakari Webb, get convicted and sentenced to life in prison for killing her little brother. Now, an appeals judge says they might have to do it again.
It's just devastating and preposterous to me.
Now, this is the actual appeal and the reason for all of this taking place. February 6th, 2026. In this appeal from his convictions and sentences for first-degree murder and resisting an officer without violence, appellant claims that the trial court committed fundamental error in failing to make an independent determination of appellant's competence after appointing an expert to evaluate appellant's competence to proceed. Because the record reflects that the trial court had reasonable grounds to believe that appellant might not be competent, the court fundamentally erred when it failed to make an independent determination regarding appellant's competence. What is erred? This sounds like something Glorilla would say. Basically, they had to make sure that he wasn't fried, like mentally fried, right? And they put in something that he should get checked, but it never happened. They never proved that he was competent to stand trial. So because he stood trial and was found guilty, they're like, hey, y'all never figured out if he was all the way there. You know what I mean? So now they have to redo the entire thing. Otherwise, you know, he's technically not guilty, which means he's gonna have to go from prison back to Volusia County Court and fight this entire case again. And the fact that he was convicted within 2 years and appealed it successfully within 2 years is crazy, because normally appeals take like 25 plus. But this is the judge that apparently fucked this up, and this guy just looks like he doesn't make mistakes. He just looks like, you know, this is the type of guy that, like, you ever caught your parents being wrong and then you prove to them that they're wrong and then you get like in even more trouble? He looks like one of them. Yeah. So I'm curious as to how this is gonna play out, because if this guy has to go through this whole shit again, this kid might end up getting even more fucking time. Like, oh, I'm gonna give you life plus 10 just because you made us do it again. But if I was the family, I would be fucking pissed that I would have to go through this process again, all because of an error. And if this man walks free, it's insane, because I don't even think they can sue the judge, because technically at that point he isn't guilty. That's the fucked up part about it. He wouldn't be guilty, so you wouldn't be able to say he's the killer, even though they have him on video going to and returning home. They have the murder weapon that they got out of his room. They have him admitting to the shooting. They have every piece of evidence they need. And the judge fucked up the case.
Let me know y'all's thoughts and comments in the comments section. It's 1090 Jake. I'm rocking with y'all. Y'all rocking with me. Till next time.
Are you drowning in payday?
No, that's crazy though. That would be, man. That is. Yeah, that's wicked. It's fingers crossed that we keep that sick individual locked up.